Okay, so let's start with the session. We'll be learning about buttons today and a little bit of color theory. Uh, Let me share the screen. Okay, one more thing before getting into the session. We are near to the end of the syllabus. Okay, so we'll be ending the syllabus this week, and in next week I'll be having two sessions on case study presentation sessions and resume building sessions. We'll be having that. But then in the next week, like let's say on at least Friday, there will be two dedicated sessions on Friday and on Monday where you'll be giving your presentation. Okay. So I'll be checking the work you have done. So those sessions are highly dedicated to students only. That would be in the last week of this course. Okay, so on the last week, two sessions will be for your presentations, and then last session, that would be third session, would be um, complete jury session. That means I'll be taking your jury, and you will be giving showing the entire case study. So I hope you are getting my point that like you should have something to present. Okay. So yes, so that would be on the third. I'll give you the dates about when your presentations are going to happen. But तब तक आपको कुछ काम करना पड़ेगा, आपको कुछ काम दिखाना पड़ेगा.
तो ये जो फ्राइडे और मंडे को जो क्लास होगा हम इसके बाद फिर
No, not this Friday and Monday.
ओके
मैं बताती हूँ आपको कि कब होगा ये. अभी देखो, आज और कल में तो आई बी गिविंग यू अ थ्योरी सेशन, सॉरी यूआई सेशंस, तो ये भी यूआई सेशंस में ही जाएगा. नेक्स्ट वीक जो होगा मंडे एंड वेंसडे, तो
हम्म
मंडे एंड वेंसडे विल बी हैविंग, मंडे को विल बी हैविंग रेज्यूमे बिल्डिंग सेशन, वेंसडे को विल बी हैविंग केस स्टडी प्रेजेंटेशन सेशन.
ओके
उसके बाद फ्राइडे आता है, तो फ्राइडे को आपका केस स्टडी प्रेजेंटेशन होगा. फिर से मंडे को भी आपका ही केस स्टडी प्रेजेंटेशन होगा.
ओके
एंड वेंसडे दैट इज 8th of January, वहां पे जूरी प्रेजेंटेशन होगा आपका.
ओके
सो आपको तो भी कुछ भी डाउट्स है, कुछ भी लगता है, तो वो 6th of January तक आपको करना पड़ेगा.
आफ्टर 6 जनवरी के बाद में
After 6th January, on 8th January, you will be having jury.
Actually,
ओके
ma'am, one I have to tell you one thing. Actually, we are planning to go to Tirupati on January 7th, 8th. Those days.
What? Can you please repeat?
We are planning for going to Tirupati, yeah, temple. Yeah. And that day only, so January 7th, 8th, 9th.
Okay, so you can give a presentation before going to the vacation.
Okay.
That can be an option.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's no problem with that.
Okay.
Anything else?
हम्म
Yes, Rahul.
तो ये मैं पूछ रहा था हमारे जो लास्ट क्लास मतलब ये कब तक रहेगा ये मतलब
8 दिसंबर पे आपका लास्ट क्लास.
ओके
सॉरी
तो
सॉरी
इन
8 जनवरी.
तो 8 जनवरी को मतलब 2 मंथ्स हो गए क्या
यस, ऑलमोस्ट हम लोगों ने चालू किया था.
No, we
Just a minute, let me check.
started on November middle, I think so.
Let me check your first session. पढ़ने चालू किया था?
Actually, I think it was 19 November 18th or 19th, 20 November. Not 2 months from January 8th, right?
Okay, so it was 18 November, but actually I started you guys actually joined late, right? So I started other people's sessions from 13th of November.
Okay.
So that's why it's appropriately ending, because the syllabus is anyways going to come to an end. तो देर इज नथिंग एल्स टू टेक एनीवेज जो लास्ट के दो एक वीक जो होता है वो पूरा डाउट सेशन में ही जाता है. ओके. एंड पूरा वी टेक दिस लास्ट 1 week all the week in the doubt sessions and presentation sessions and then jury presentation sessions. Okay.
Yeah.
So
After
anyway,
the course completion, can you tell how to prepare for interview or those things?
I told you, na, you'll be having interview presentation and case study presentation sessions
Okay.
in the next week that will be scheduled. After that, till like on the January, you can also give presentation on 10th of January also. That is also fine. So today we'll be taking buttons and color theory, right? Today is 24th. On 25th, I'll be taking your wireframe and prototyping. On Friday, that is 27th of December, I'll be taking your advanced prototyping. Okay. Then on Monday, what is Monday on? 28, 30. 30 December, we'll be having resume building session. 1st January, we'll be having interview preparation and case study presentation. Okay, that means I will be giving you sessions on that. And on Friday, that is 3rd January and 6th January, Friday and Monday, will be taking your presentation. So you will be coming with all the doubts you have and whatever work you have done in UX and UI. So you will be giving presentation to me and will be solving all of your doubts and all. And then, as I said, 8th January, and we can also schedule it again on 10 January. If you do not perform, like if you do not have anything to show till, like your work is not done till 8th of January, then we can have a presentation of 10th of January also. Or else directly on Monday, that would be 13th of January. So 13th of January, the 2 months would be completed. So it will be your call when you want the presentation to be. So you guys decide and tell me. Yes. So this would be the schedule. Okay, so let's start with this session. All right. Today we'll be learning about buttons, and I'll be showing you what are the, first of all, let's understand what are the wrong designs of buttons, and then we'll understand the right design of button. And before getting into this, let me just give you a correct context of using buttons. So there are 3 types of buttons, okay? One is called as primary style of button, second is secondary style of button, and then we have tertiary button. And every button has its own, there is a hierarchy of buttons, correct? So when you will be using buttons, you have to use in a correct hierarchy. right? So the example you see in front of you is a example of a login screen, right? And in login screen, you can see on this design, we have login button and sign up button. So there is a difference between both the buttons. When you see login button, this button is highlighted. That means there is a fill to it. You can see the fill. And when you see the sign up button, it is no fill. It has no fill, but only strokes. And why it is designed like this? It's because, it depends on the goal of that particular page. Means when we are designing a login button, what is our primary goal? It is to get ourselves logged in, correct? So that's why we need to highlight the primary goal button, that is login button. And then if you do not have an account and you want to sign up or sign in, then of course you need to have that button also. You need to keep that button also. So we will do the sign up button in a secondary format. That means it will not have fill to it, but only corner radiuses and borders. That's it. Okay. And then we have a tertiary button. Tertiary button is something like this, forgot password button. You might have seen forgot password button a lot of times, correct? So that button is acting as a tertiary button. That means it is a rarely used button. Okay, if a user forgets their login credentials, then they will click on forget button. So it is a rarely used button. So of course, forget password is going to be under a tertiary button. And how do you define a tertiary button? It is just the highlight. It is just the words. Okay, means it is just a text written. You have to give a underline to it, and or else you can also give a blue color to it. That means you are designing it in a hyperlink manner. So this is the difference of primary, secondary, and tertiary button. And those buttons are always designed in a hierarchy. Okay. And what button when you have to give it, it all depends on the goal of a user. If a user's goal is to create an account, then you have to highlight the sign up button as a primary button, and then login will be automatically a secondary button, correct? But if someone's goal is to get themselves logged in, then of course login me button would be the highlight button. So so there are only 3 buttons in the UX design, UI design, okay? But there has to be a consistency in button. There has to be the way that you have to design a button. So how will you do it, and will understand that? Okay. So can you tell me what is wrong in this design? This design is a wrong design, right? So can you just tell me what is wrong in this design? You can see the design. Rahul has left the meeting. Don't know what the issue is. Yes, tell me quickly. What do you think? Why do you think the design is wrong?
I think three are in same color.
Yes. Can you please repeat in a louder voice?
Yeah, three buttons are in same color. That's why I think it's wrong.
Same color. Okay. So what is wrong in this is there is no consistency in terms of the corner radius. This button has big, like huge corner radius, and this has less corner radius. So that is the issue. There is no consistency. This this is a perfect design, but what is happening, the tertiary button should be always underlined. And over here it is not underlined, so that is why it is a wrong design. In this particular design, the primary button should always have a fill to it, and there is no fill in the primary button. And secondary button has a different color scheme. So again, there is a wrong design. And there is, you can see there is a background, or the strokes to the tertiary button. So tertiary button should never have stroke, it should only have underline. Okay, so that is why it is a wrong design. Okay, over here again, what is happening? Primary button is perfectly designed. Secondary button should only have strokes to it, no fill. So secondary button is wrong design. Tertiary button is wrong design again, because tertiary should have no background, no fill, no strokes, nothing, just underline. So that's why it is wrong design. Over here, you can see what is wrong is primary is perfectly designed. Again, secondary button is wrong because it is having fill to it.
Color, yeah.
So as I said, there shouldn't be any fill, but only corner radiuses and sorry, not borders only. Tertiary button, perfect design. Okay. What is happening over here? This is wrong design because the secondary button is also acting as a primary button and there is a different color to it. So that is why it is wrong design. Again, this is wrong design because secondary button is having fill to it. You can see the white fill, white tint to it. So that is wrong. Again, over here, primary button is perfect. Secondary button is wrong. Again, there is a background color and there is no strokes. So again, wrong design. Tertiary is perfect design. So here is a perfect design of buttons. Primary with a good fill to it. Secondary with, no fill but only border. Tertiary button with a underline. Okay, that's it. These two are the perfect design. There is a different color. Now color depends on what kind of color palette you're using. But again, you can see the same designs and perfect colors. Again, now there are types of buttons that is being used in design. So we have material button variations. So you can see there is a button which has only text to it. So this is called text button. And there are certain types of button which will have arrow as in icons inside it. So these buttons are called as elevated buttons. Okay. So buttons can be, so all these buttons are good designs, perfect designs. So you can use any of this kind of buttons. You can put an icon in the button, make it elevated button, or no icon is also fine. Okay. Then we have, this is a very important button which is called as fab button. Fab button is floating, floating action buttons. Now you see fab buttons everywhere. In the Figma also you see, you have this anode button acting as a fab button. It's a floating action button. You can see this help button acting as a fab button. So this is a good thing. Okay. This is a fab button. You can see fab buttons everywhere, like if you have a edit option button or insert button, you have plus icon button, right? So those are also fab buttons only. Then this is a square button, edit buttons. Usually this which has a square icons which are done in a square, it's called as square buttons. And then we have very important buttons such as social buttons. These are the buttons which links to your social sites. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, all these stuffs are called as social buttons. So this is again an elevated button because it has icons to it and it has a good background color. Then we have certain things, some things which called as clickable and non-clickable button. Now clickable buttons are always in a good design, good gradient to it. Okay. And you understand, okay, this button, if you press on it, it will link us to some site, correct? But non-clickable buttons are usually in a grayscale. Now this view more recipe is a clickable button. I don't know why they placed it over here. But this gray scale button, any button which is in a gray scale, gray color tone, then those buttons are non-clickable button. You understand that this buttons won't lead you to anywhere. These are non-clickable. You cannot click on it, right? So whenever you want to give non-clickable buttons, you can put them in a grayscale. Okay, then we have certain things which is called as the size of buttons. Now, buttons size are very important. Do you remember the lecture we did, the sessions we did on, we understood auto layout, correct? So you do remember auto layout. Now, buttons are also done in auto layout only because it's the easiest way to create a button. And these are some sizes. If you don't put it in auto layout, then you can refer to this sizes: 42 pixels, 60 pixels, 72 pixels. Okay. But if you do buttons in auto layout, then we have certain things called as paddings. So you can see this is a button padding. So button padding is what actually? The distance between the text to the edge of the button. This distance, this space is called as padding. So this is vertical padding, this is horizontal padding. And in auto layout, paddings matter a lot. So we have given 16 pixels padding. This space is 16 pixels and this space is 8 pixels. So auto layout buttons are usually done in, buttons are usually done in auto layout, and usually we give 16 and 8 padding, and the text size of a button is usually 14 to 16 pixels. Okay. Now let's create a button like login, sign up, and tertiary button using auto layout. We'll use auto layout and we'll create a button. Now I'll take a text, 20 pixels text, call it login. Okay, and we'll create a hierarchy of button. I'll put it in auto layout. Can you tell me how to put a button in auto layout, Divya? Tell.
Well, um, first we have to create rectangle.
No. Just give me the command. Like, what is the command for auto layout?
Okay. Right click on text.
Okay. And shortcut, if you might remember.
Okay. Alt
Okay.
right
It's
click
Shift
on
A.
Shift A, yeah.
So now when we create auto layout, we get a setting over here which asks us to do the padding. So in auto layout, we do this kind of padding. So now if I take a phone screen, let's put a button inside it. So now I can give padding. If I give, layout grid to it, and 16 pixels. So now I can give a proper padding to the button. Okay. Great. So 150 done. I'll give some corner radius. Okay, now we'll create one more button, which will be a sign up button. So for this is secondary button, which will be no fill, only stroke, white stroke, black. All right. So this is sign up button, and we can give, forgot, Okay. So this is a hierarchy of buttons. We can also give this as a blue color, so that would be much better. Okay. So this looks good. This is how buttons are created. This is primary button, secondary button, and this is tertiary button. Understood?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any doubts?
No. No, understand. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we create action for this? If we can click button, we'll go to next page like that.
Yeah, that is done in prototype.
Yeah. Do we have that right? Prototype class?
Yes, yes, you have prototype class.
Okay. In next session.
Yes,
Prototype class when will
then it is going to be tomorrow and on Friday.
okay.
Yes. Okay, so now let's go to understand the color theory, and then I'll give you an assignment to create buttons. Last 10 minutes, we'll understand buttons. Okay, so color theory, we'll be learning mostly about the primary, secondary, tertiary color. Okay, what are those colors? So you might know this color thing, and you might have learned it in school, right? For drawing classes and all. For the exams like elementary exams and all those exams, right? Intermediate exams. This might have taught to you by your teacher.
I have
But
known
anyways,
I have known this in Photoshop, like graphic designing. I know that.
okay, okay. So yeah, so we'll be learning the same thing because color, having a good set of color palette for your website design, for your application is very important, correct? So for that, we need to understand the color wheel, the complementary colors, the, you know, what we call it. I forgot the word. Visibility of color. If someone is disabled person, then can we check if that particular contrast color is visible for that disabled person or not? So for that, there are some sites, there are some plugins that you can use and understand the percentage of visibility and all. But that is further on. First of all, you just need to learn about what the initially like what color theory means. Okay, so we have a set of color which is called as primary color, secondary color, and tertiary color. So primary colors क्या होते हैं? Primary colors are, see, the colors you can't create by combining two or more colors. The primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. These are the colors, red, blue, yellow, are the colors which are already existing. Okay, you cannot create these colors by combining or by mixing any two colors. So, but other colors like secondary colors and tertiary colors, these colors are mixed or these colors are created by mixing two primary colors. So, secondary colors we get is orange, purple, green. In other words, the colors that can be created by combining any two of the three primary colors. So, when we combine these colors, let's say yellow and red, we get a set of color. So this is what we combine it in equal percentage, 50-50 percentage, then we get this purple, orange and green color. So that is why it is called as secondary colors. And tertiary color, again the same thing. When we mix the primary color with secondary color, then we get tertiary colors such as magenta, vermilion, violet, teal, amber, and chartreuse. So these are the names of colors. Again, it's very difficult to, pronounce these names and all. But anyways, we do understand how we get this kind of colors. So this is easy to understand. We know this from the school time, right? Then we have certain thing as color wheel. Now for any designer, color wheel plays extremely important role, right? So the color wheel has way more than 12 colors. You can see this is a color which is created. Like when we have a tertiary color wheel, kind of, this is a tertiary color wheel, right? So this is a computer generated thing. When we mix it, we get shades of colors and tones of colors in this. Do you know what the shade and the tone color means?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, tell me.
Shade means uh, uh, for any color, we adding black to the original color, it will be shade. If we
Yes.
add white tone,
Right. Okay, great. So we'll just repeat it one more time. So when we say hue of a color, okay, hue refers to the pure pigment of a color without tint or shade. Hue color, that means this original colors. Okay, we do not add any white color or black color to it, or we do not get shades in this forms, right? The original colors are called as hues. Okay, that can be taken by the original colors. Mixing the primary and secondary color is a hue of color. Then when do we understand, like, when do we call a shade of a color? A shade is it refers to the black is added to the hue. So when we have hue, that means original colors we have it. When we start adding black color or black pigment to it, we get shade of a color. So when we say, black color or white color, those are not colors, but it's a shade of a color. Black is a shade of a certain color, and white is a tone of a certain color. Tone as in tint, sorry. So just the opposite of shade, we have tint. So shade means we are adding black color to it. Tint is we are adding white color to it. As much as like we keep on adding white, we get tint of a color. And then what do we understand by the tone of a color? So tone color is actually means which has both to it, means we have tint and shade to it, we get tone of a color, usually addition of grays. So any color we see in a gray format, in a gray scale, it is usually means it's a tone of a color. All right. Then we have color temperature is not that important, like warm and all. Color.
tone, what is tone?
So tone is a mixture of shade and tint.
Okay.
When we add both, like when we add black and white to a color, we get tone of a color, and those colors are mostly, it looks like gray colors. Okay. अभी color harmony क्या होता है? Do you know what color harmony is? So when we say that, a certain colors are very bright and it itches to our eye, correct? And certain colors are very reflective. Like if some colors, if we give a certain amount of color, it reflects. It makes the, area brighter. So we need to understand the color harmony in a way that the color shouldn't each to our eye. We shouldn't strain our eye when we look at a certain color. That is meaning of a color harmony. So as a designer, we need to understand if there is a certain bright color, is it itching to a person eyes? Because you know, some shade of a some tint of a red, it will, if you use some tint of a red, it will itch a user eye. So you have to understand how it is satisfying, visually satisfying to your design, how is it visually satisfying to your user. So for that, again, we have so many plugins which tells you which shade you should go with. If you want to go with the red color, then it will tell you the exact proper red color which won't each two users eye and all. So for that we have plugins. Okay, so what do we understand by the additive color and subtractive color? Additive color is a stands for red, green, and blue. RGB color. RGB colors are mostly, you can see RGB color in a computer system. Everything is referred to RGB. So it's red, green, and blue color. So this color is when you add, when you add this color, you get the tint of it. That means it gets to the white color, it gets to the white format. So when you add this, you get to the tint of the shade, right? So that is called as additive color. So additive colors is a mode of a light waves that detects the that the more color you add, the closer color gets to the white. So when you add RGB color, it gets to the lighter shade and it starts getting to the tint area. That means the white area. That means it is additive. And just the opposite of this, we have subtractive colors. So when you add two or more color and the mixture of that colors goes to the shade, that means the darker zone, darker area. It goes to the black area. So that means it is subtractive color. So for that also, we have canyon, magenta, yellow, and black colors. So when we use these colors, like when we mix more two of these colors, we will usually get subtractive color model. And when we want a tint shade, that means a white shade, we should go with the RGB color, that is red, green, and blue color. Then we have something called as color palette. So color palette, this is RGB again. We have color palettes such as monochromatic color palette. Monochromatic color palette means the color scheme which is used from tone to the shade. So this is tone and this is shade. So the color scheme you use from one single line. So you draw a line on a color wheel, and in that one line, whatever tone and shade you get, it's called a monochromatic color palette. Then we have analogous color palette. That means this is adjacent colors to each other. And this is all done on a color wheel only. Okay. You look at three colors which are adjacent to each other. That is called as analogous color palette. Then we have complementary color palette. That means on a color wheel, we have just the opposite color to any color. So means we have orange, then the complementary is blue. We have magenta color, the complementary is green. We have red color, then complementary is canyon blue. We have, okay, let's not go further more because we don't know the exact name of this. But yeah, complementary means opposite colors on a color wheel. Then we have split complementary. Split complementary is three color shades. Complementary is opposite. Then we have just the color shade, adjacent color shades, and then the exact opposite to them. That is split complementary. Then we have triadic color. That means you create a rectangle out of it. So adjacent only it is, but in a rectangle manner, we have a triadic color shade. All right, then one thing which is very important is you can go with the color psychology. You know, every single color has a psychology attached to it. And what is that psychology? So, you know, color plays an important role in a human's mind. See, I'll give you an example of this. When we see a red color is a blurred color, like blurred red color. We see all the danger signs in a red color, right? So, red color is associated with danger. But you know, it is also associated with the excitement. So you see Coca-Cola design in a red color, you see Netflix design in a red color. Okay. So that is a psychology which affects humans' mind. All the stop sign, danger signs, all these signs are always done in a red color. When we see orange color, orange is a energetic and a warm color. So you see Mirinda, Fanta, these drinks in orange color, right? That means energetic, that means warm color. Again, red color, again, as I said, it is a danger color, it's energy color, power color, passion color, excitement color. So if you have something related to this, if you are creating an app which is going to give excitement to the user, you should go with the red color as a primary color. So that is a psychology. Then we have yellow color. Yellow color is joy, playful, sunshine. So you see Snapchat, it is entirely designed in a yellow color because it is joy, it is playfulness. We send snaps, we get joy sending snaps and all. So majorly primary color is yellow. Pink is an innocence color, gratitude, romance, softness, and appreciation. You see, there is a certain architectural design of a prison, of a police station designed entirely in a pink shade. Why? Because in police station, in a prison, usually there are criminals. I mean, there are 100% everyone is a criminal. So criminals are very aggressive. They are very hypered, right? Always they shout and they are always angry. So when you see something in a pink color, it gives like it calms you down, correct? So that's why there are certain designs in a pink color. Blue colors is for dependable, trustworthy, and confident, dignity, security. We see a lot of apps of net banking and all in blue color. We see Facebook, LinkedIn in a blue color. It's a calm color. Then green color is a nature color. It symbolizes growth, freshness, money, wealth, right? So if you're creating a finance application, you can use green color, correct? If you're using a, EV related application, if you're designing, then you can use green color for that. So that way it will be more helpful. Then we have black color, power, class, definition, mystery, and seriousness. Again, if you have certain design, can always choose a black color. So this is about the color theory. You can go with the psychology of color. You can check out the color wheel and try to take colors from here. Okay. But most importantly, I'll tell you one more important site which will help you a lot, which is a UI color app. Let me share the screen. So see, if you're using a certain color, let's say you want to go with the blue color. Okay. So I'll just check. I will go with the blue color. Or else, I'll just take the LinkedIn, Facebook, or LinkedIn color. LinkedIn color hex. Yeah, this is the LinkedIn color hex code. So you see how your interface is going to look, how you can create the interface in this particular color. Buttons, hover button, active, disabled button, you see how you will create. This is a very good site for that. It is called as UI colors. You can note this site. And this gives you the perfect color palette with a good contrast and all. So you can use it in your application. Okay. So you can check this out. You can see this particular color. It also copies the hex code. You can use it in your design immediately. Okay. And again, there are some sites which you can, so you can see the color, how the color looks in the gray, as in dark mode also. Then you can do your own research and check out the color visibility and all. You'll get plugin. So there is a Figma plugin for this UI color. You can install the plugin, you know how to do that now. I'm not going to repeat it. So you can use that for your Instagram, Figma also. Any doubt still here?
No.
Okay. Now we have 10 minutes, 10, like, yeah, some time. I want you to create a, let me share the screen again, Figma screen. Yes. I want you to create some social button, 2 or 3 social button. Create a Facebook social button and create Google social button, 2 buttons right now in auto layout. I want to see it. And when you do it, I would like to ask, like, I would like you to do this, like, share your screen. So start sharing your screen and create these 2 buttons in auto layout.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm. Ma'am, once check this, how to do this icon and this text.
First of all, remove the frame of the Facebook text.
This one.
Ungroup it. You have not done auto layout or what? Select the auto layout. Auto layout. No. Select the frame.
This page text as
Select the frame.
yeah.
Your alignment is wrong. You have set vertically aligned. It should be horizontally aligned. Check in the auto layout. Select the frame. Not there. Yes, there only. No, change that. उसके साइड को not that.
This
Yes,
okay. But only I want to change this icon to left side.
you can drag it now to the left.
No, it's not moved.
Select it and drag it.
Okay.
Give proper padding. I see your button is very big. Padding is very. Why are you changing from there? Don't you-
Mm, it's not changing.
Create the auto layout again. Delete everything and create the auto layout again.
First we have to type text.
Take a rectangle first. You can do either way. It's on your design. You can create anything.
Here we have to select both or only text.
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
Now give padding.
There is no difference. Here I am changing, but there is no change.
No, it is happening now. Put icon now.
This one.
ठीक है. Okay. So you have understood, right?
Yeah. But
Or
here I'm giving padding, but there is no difference here. Here is okay. This one.